So, Peter Rabbit. Wow. Now, it's gonna sound a little bit weird, but I'm one of the few people I actually know who actually read the Beatrix Potter classic when I was growing up. Granted, I never really read many times or basically stuck it on my bookshelf, but I do admit that it was definitely a great piece of children's literature. It's one of the greatest children's classics of the past several decades. That says something, if anything. And heck, well, the story wasn't really that simple, or complex to begin with. It actually was okay. Depends on what I said. It was pretty simple actually. It was a few pages. It had a charming story to it, and Peter Rabbit was actually pretty likable as an as a character. But eventually, that was gonna get put to death in film and TV. And well, I will admit, I never really looked up any TV film adaptations of the novel or its sequel, Benjamin Bunny. I didn't really know what to expect for this movie. I was basically saw about it. The film was basically announced back in 2015 or 2016, and and the director for and you basically hear that the director for this film is Will Gluck, who did hit a good stride with his 2010 film Easy A. When you hear how he was not actor, writer, director, producer, and even composer for the modern day adaptation of Annie. No, not doing it. No. So, yeah, he's not the best director. He definitely knows how to direct well, but he's not really a director I've come back to on many occasions. And when you hear that the cast for this film, it basically involves James Corden, who I feel is heading towards overexposure, having not just blowing up in animated films, but basically also hosting the Grammys and being outshone by his parents in the Grammys. And we also hear that the film basically has voice talent that involves Daisy Ridley, Elizabeth Debicki, Margot Robbie, and even Sia of all people, alongside James Corden. Especially when you hear that two of the main actors are Domhall Gleason, who's best known as General Hux in the Star Wars trilogy, as well as his character in Deus Machina. Yeah, he is a good actor, I will say that, but he deserves so much better than this. I gotta be honest with you all, and even casting Rose Byrne in the film didn't seem to raise my confidence, despite the fact that it was rather interesting. And basically, the plot for this film, didn't seem like if it in line with the books at all. It was supposed to be a story about Peter basically terrorizing Mr. McGregor's farm, but after one of his attacks against Peter, the man suffers from a heart attack and dies. And when his great nephew goes upon returns to the property so he can appraise it and sell it off for money that he needs. Peter and the gang basically start a riot in order to take back and raid his garden. But it turns out to be a romantic battle when he inadvertently ends up battling the guy for the heart of his next door neighbor, who they see as a surrogate mother. So yeah, I just so basically, I see this film. We'll go see 50 Shades of Grey or 50 Shades of Freed. I don't care. So, was it better than that film? Well, yes, it was. It was better than that film. But then again, in 50 Shades, saying any 50 Shades of Grey film was good is basically like scraping the bottom of a barrel, bottom of a barrel while eating at a fancy restaurant. Whereas for this film, it's definitely this film just didn't work for me whatsoever. Um, no, it isn't. Not only does it stray as far away as it possibly can from Beatrix Potter's original novel, it just keep in with the. It barely resembles any of the characteristics from the characters had, especially with Peter's twins, triplet siblings. And we basically add the fact that basically modernizes everything and tries with self awareness that I can't effectively back up. Yeah, you got yourself a movie that I honestly had to say was a big disappointment. So in order to start with this, we when you talk about the original source material by Beatrix Potter. Now, basically, like I said, the plotline for the film is for the story was basically pretty simple. It basically features Peter ignoring his mother's warning to stay out of Mr. McGregor's garden, else he'll die. But Peter basically can't resist his animalistic instincts, terrorizes the garden, and steals and eats as much as he can, in order to get chased out. And yeah, it was basically a simple enough plot, but it also made Peter sympathetic because while he knew he wanted to stay out of trouble, he knew he basically is overtaken by his instincts and basically wants to be just a free bunny and do what he wants. Unfortunately, it doesn't end well for him. So basically, let's take a look at this film. Basically, and basically you got that for basically for this film, almost all that is gone. Seriously. Seriously, they could have actually made a compelling story out of it if they kept to it, but all they basically do is modernize it, turn it from a simple story about he's wanting to rebel simply because he's an animal, and basically turn into a battle with some animals battle for the affection of their surrogate mother against the man who's in love with her. And really, none doesn't have any of the charm or innocence that made the original novel so compelling, but like I said, the self awareness in this film just doesn't work, and that brings me to the script. And yeah, you can definitely tell that Will Gluck has his hands in the script for this film because although some of the dialogue here isn't bad, and some of this, and there are some there's some cute lines I can definitely point out and really like. But the point is, self awareness works well in a film when it not only connects for the audience, but doesn't feel like it's really trying too hard. In this film, it does try a bit too hard because not only is not although you can definitely see them point out some of the cliches that they come across, they get too on the nose about it as if some of them may not be officially recognized, or basically they think that we're not gonna get a joke, or they're just feeling to point out just because they can, when in fact they don't need to. And that brings us to the only thing I can talk about next: the acting. James Corden is passable as Peter Rabbit. I'm gonna say, I will say that he does try to bring the charm and innocence that was originally in Beatrix Potter's novel. But even if I feel like this guy could just step back a little bit and just do his late show gig for another few year or so, but man alive, Daisy Ridley should just stick to better roles because I won't say she doesn't do bad against comic material, but she definitely needs better material to work off of because not only can I not tell that it was her as the triplets, and you can definitely tell that Elizabeth Debicki, and Margot Robbie are trying to sell themselves as identical siblings, not just in their appearances, but also in their voices. It makes it hard to tell each other apart because yes, I get that I get them trying to go for that, but at the same time, at least have one thing about their voices that sticks out that lets us tell them apart. And I'm gonna say this: Sia's definitely wasted in this film. And honestly, I think she should stick to songwriting and doing music because I don't see her as much of an actor, not at all. And however, there are two performances that do save this film in a way. Those are definitely, yes, you guessed it, Rose Byrne and Domhall Gleason. Now, Rose Byrne is always a charming presence on film, and she definitely plays the animal lover very well. Very well, and I gotta say, Domhall Gleason does bring a lot of playful energy as Mr. McGregor's great nephew. You can definitely kind of feel for him as the guy who gets screwed over for promotion and basically just wants to do what he wants and not let anyone get in his way. But no, it doesn't make him feel less compelling. But he does have good chemistry with Rose Byrne. That does save it. But in terms of a character, he doesn't really compel me that much. So in the end, look, Rose Byrne and Domhnall Gleeson do give good performances. I can't say that, but everything else about the film just doesn't work. Not does it stray so far from Beatrix Potter's source material that you barely recognize it. The voice cast is terribly wasted. James Corden does not impress me at all as Peter Rabbit, and overall, this film felt like an adaptation that did need to happen. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna give this film a strong 4 out of 10. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Like what you saw, comment down below. I like to know your thoughts. Be sure be sure to check out my Twitter page and stay tuned for more videos. Until then, I'm Ross. This is M&M Weekly. See you.